All right, welcome to another edition of MACE Live TV. Today is August the 7th.
That's right.
2014. I get the year right?
That's right.
All right, we starting our 20th year here at MACE, the Metro Association of Classroom Educators. MACE is the most effective and the meanest teachers union probably in the whole country. I know in the South now.
Yeah,
I've been around. I mean, I know what's in there. I've been places down in Florida, to the schools down there, and people have been writing to us at the MACE office ever since we started, almost, folks, wanting us to go to Florida, Ohio, Tennessee, New York, California, Texas, but we're not anywhere but Georgia. So if you're a teacher in Georgia, you don't need to teach without being a member of the Metro Association of Classroom Educators, better known as MACE. Don't teach without it, with MACE. Now this isn't a MACE right here, but I was about to trip over this hammer. I guess we were putting out signs, and some Mr. Haynes said, "No, let me get a soft hammer." He had a soft about that. I said, "We don't want no soft one. He's afraid I was going to hit this table right here. We got to hammer out injustice for teachers out there."
That's right.
Teachers are treated like dog shit. Now you know I don't mince my words, right?
That's right.
Treated like dog shit.
That's right.
In Georgia, and especially in the urban areas. Oh man, I mean, kids are cussed out by teachers. By the kids cuss the teachers out. I got that wrong. The teachers are cussed out by the kids, and then the administrator wants to write the teacher up and say that the teacher didn't do something right. You know, there's the teacher's fault. Want to get the TEEPS evaluation. Used to be called the GTEP thing right here, Georgia Teachers Evaluation Program. You know, I forgot to turn off my cell phone right here, but let me go ahead and do that. And hey JB, we're doing a video right here, buddy. I said we're doing a video right here, okay? Okay. You're live. You want me to put you on speakerphone right here?
It's live TV.
This is MACE Live TV. You're on MACE Live TV right now. MACE Live TV.
This quote here.
Well, we about to talk about Cebu. Look, he says right here, J.B. Stanley says, "This ain't chicken soup," this book right here.
There you go.
Welcome aboard, Mr. Barnes. And J.B., let me sign out right here, okay? This is live TV. This ain't like that fake live like they do all that Kim Kardashian crap on TV, okay? This is real live, all right? So we'll holler at you, okay? All right, we want to talk about this book right here. Mr. Barnes stepped in here. He's on the phone with some teachers. We're always on the phone with teachers every night up here. We don't leave this office till every single teacher has been called back and taken care of. We use it right here, not to actually literally bash in the heads of these administrators. That could hurt right there, man. But this is a symbol. I just found it on the floor over there, okay? And we're going to bash out this injustice going on in the schools, right?
That's right.
And one of the ways we're going to do it is, tomorrow we get the galley from the publisher. This is a draft that we sent to them. That's actually going to be the cover of the book. The book's be 6 by 9. The MACE Manifesto, the politically incorrect, irreverent, and scatological examination of what's wrong with American public education. And as Mr. Stanley right, he said, this ain't chicken soup. Preston Halliburton, attorney, said a riveting read. Others have called it a radioactive. Every page is radioactive. This book right here, folks, explains what really is wrong with American public education. And it's about 500 pages or more. It might be about 520. I know it's over 170,400 some words. So it is a manifesto. It's not a little booklet, okay?
It's the Bible. It's the educational Bible.
The educational Bible. And if you pick it up, you better watch out. You might pull your hernia because it's a heavy book, all right? And it'll be out with about a month, I believe. I thought we might read some of the chapters in here. Not the chapters, but actually some of the table of contents right here. On learning, and MACE's damn theory of learning. We use damn theory right there, D-A-M. Because first of all, you've got to have discipline. If you don't have discipline in the classroom, you'll have no learning to take place. The kids have to have a certain amount of aptitude. Some kids are dumb as mud. I mean, they really are. But,
right.
You know, if you have the aptitude in place, and then you have the motivation for the M, right? You can have some learning.
That's right.
But if you just put all the kids who are disruptive, defiant, rude in one teacher's class, and you want to judge that teacher, on how well the kids do on a standardized test. That's what they call performance-based evaluation. That's just another word for merit pay, which does not work. It has never worked because teachers are not giving the same equal amount of students. Not equitable. I mean, it's not like a conveyor belt where, you know, you're all working the same cookie dough or whatever. No, teachers are given different types of kids, different motivations, different backgrounds, and different abilities. But they called it for a while value-added education. That's called performance-based evaluation. Performance-based. I don't mind performance-based if it's based on just the teacher's performance, so to speak.
Exactly.
But not based on the performance of a kid on a damnable standardized test. At MACE, we know you cannot have good learning conditions until you have what?
First, good teaching conditions.
You got to have good teaching conditions. You've got to have teaching conditions. Hey, the latter is contingent upon the former. Is that right? You can't have good learning conditions. No, the former is contingent upon the latter, right?
That's right.
We said that in the first magazine, 1995. You cannot have good learning conditions until you have first have good teaching conditions. We have a chapter in the book. It's actually a little section. We got about 10 things like introduction, prologue, forward, and several vignettes like knowing the difference between shit and shinola. We saying that MACE might be crazy, but we know the difference between shit and shinola. We ain't stupid.
That's
and
right.
these so-called reformers, they're deformers. They deform public education. They don't know the difference between shit and shinola. We know that you can't have good learning conditions until you first have good teaching conditions.
That's right.
We know you can't let rude, defiant, and disruptive students run all over teachers. These so-called reformers don't seem to understand that.
They don't want to understand.
They don't even want to understand it. They think you can let these irate and irresponsible and crazy-ass parents run over teachers. How many of you ever watched, that, not Pawn Stars, but Hardcore Pawn?
Yeah.
Out of what do you call it, 8 Mile? No, that's Pawn
Detroit,
Star.
isn't it?
It's out of Detroit. Where's Eminem from?
8 Mile.
8 Mile. It's right over by 8 Mile.
That's right.
And some of these parents coming in, they're crazy as hell. I say parents, they're customers of the store, but I know they got kids, right? These the same ones say, I want $500 for the TV. They said, well, we can't give it $55. I said, I want $500. That's the kind of parents we got in some of these schools, folks. And these so-called reformers, they don't ever want to mention the fact that we got some crazy-ass parents out there. And we also know that you can't let these mean-spirited, insecure, petty, vindictive, what else can we say about them? Administrators, small-minded, very small-minded, right?
That's right.
These administrators abuse the teachers. They're angry and abusive administrators, right? See, we told Bill Gates in the book, and there's one chapter in there, what is it called? The Gates bill shall not prevail against, have prevailed against the local control of public education. That's going to be one of the most popular ones, besides the one that says too many sluts, pimps, and bitches running our public schools, right? That's a good chapter, too. All of them are good chapters, folks, but some will be a little bit more popular. But that Bill Gates chapter, well, we ripped him in the rear end on.
Man.
Woo! That's proverbial speaking, metaphorical speaking.
His wife out.
Melinda. Melinda says she wanted more tests in the public schools. She said they need more and more tests in the public schools.
More tests.
But not in the school where their kids go to in Seattle. That's called the not the Shamrock School. What's it called? I forgot. We mentioned it in the book several times. What is the name of that school they go to over there? It's out in Seattle, private school where he and Bill Allen, I think the one who helped start Microsoft, with him, they went to that school. They're not calling for standardized tests in those schools, not those private schools, but for the public schools, right?
Mm-hmm.
She doesn't know the difference between shit and shinola when it comes to public education. We say that in the book, right? That Melinda Gates, Bill Gates, Eli Broad, Edith Broad, these billionaire, I call them vulture philanthropists. They act like they're engaging in philanthropy, but it's really vulture philanthropy. It's hard to say all that's a mouthful right there, right? But anyway, this book is coming out within this month. You can, actually, I guess I could just call the MACE office, right? 770-716-2727.
That's right.
Or go to theteachersadvocate.com. That's www.theteachersadvocate.com. Or just Google MACE on there. Google MACE.teachers.org, MACEteachers.org, or just put John Trotter MACE
And Google.
or Norreese Haynes MACE. That's Norreese. MACE. Google. It'll take you to the MACE website.
That's right.
This book right here, I mean, the MACE Manifesto, it tells it all, folks. There's so many good, juicy chapters in this book. I think we got 51 chapters, about 10 sections before you get to the chapters. Then we got 25. We exposed 25 myths in public education. We got 26 juicy appendices. We organized the book. Part 1 is expounding theories. Part 2 of the book is explaining race. Woo, man! We talk about. Let us just sit down to the brass tacks. Let us just get down to the brass tacks and discuss a subject that everyone else is afraid to broach.
That's right.
They're afraid to talk about race. Race is important in public schools, folks. Everybody say, well, we don't look at race at all. We just look at the kids. No, you don't. Everybody looks at race. If the school system is 90% white, your principals are 90% white. If the school system is 90% black, all your administrators are 90% black. Don't tell me you don't pay attention to race. Race is the number one factor in public schools, folks. And if you say that it's not, you're just burying your head right in the sand. That's that ain't the number one. Number one is discipline, right?
Exactly.
The lack of discipline in schools. See, we tell Bill Gates and that, I know I'm skipping around, we say, Brother Gates, now you got to have 3 things at least that you ain't even paying attention to. You got to, first of all, let the teachers be the kings and queens of the classroom like they used to be 30, 40 years ago, right?
That's right.
And when what they said went in the old days. Mr. Robinson, when you got home, if you got in trouble in school, and I know you're a good student up at Hickory, North Carolina, but if you got home and the teacher said that you had done this, that, and the other, who your mama going to believe? Did she believe the teacher, didn't she?
Of course.
Of course. I mean, let's say, did you get whipped again when you got home if you got whipped at school?
Actually, I got whipped 3 times.
3 times. Your mama?
Oh, actually, the teacher first.
Teacher first.
Then my uncle.
Then your uncle got you.
Then my mother.
Then your mother. But what about your daddy? Now, when your daddy got involved,
Oh, man.
Billy
We
Haynes.
got 4.
4 times.
Yeah.
You get whipped 4 times.
4 times.
I used to get whipped twice. If I got whipped at the school, but my parents knew about it immediately because my father was an administrator too. You know, he'd be a principal at another school, and the principal would call him, tell him I got in trouble. And I got in trouble all the time. But man, when I got home, I was in worse trouble.
Exactly.
Shoot, my mama, she marched me right back over to that school, not to get on the teacher's case, but to find out exactly what I had done. I got in trouble even worse.
That's right.
Now, Mr. Barnes, I'm not even going to go there. I'm not even going to go there with you now. Because I'm old enough to remember when you were about 15 years old, and I know you got in all kind of trouble, right?
Yes, I did.
Yes, you did, right?
Yeah.
Until you finally figured out that system, right? About 18, 19 years old, you started doing what Mr. Haynes used to do as a teacher, right?
Exactly.
Go buy that principal of sausage and biscuits in the morning,
There
right?
you go.
Mr. Barnes did the same
Little
thing.
co-op.
You did the same thing, didn't you?
Called the game of life.
The game of life.
There you go, the game of life.
He used to go over Mr. And when he got about 18, 19, Mr. Barnes, they'd already kicked you out of a couple of high schools, right?
Well, one in particular.
One in particular. That's over at Eagle Landing.
Eagle Landing, yo.
Eagle
I think race had a factor to do.
It might have a little bit to do it. I'm not sure. We're not sure about that. But you ended up graduating there, right?
No, I graduated from Mount Zion.
That's right. You were Mount Zion. I was thinking Mount Zion, right? I was thinking Mount Zion.
Yeah, I had to go to a place where they could understand me.
Right. They understand your behavior, right?
No different.
You were looking for folks who look like you.
Right.
There you go.
Miss Haynes always say he looking for folks who look like him.
There you go.
All right, folks. This book, we got that one chapter explaining race. 5 chapters, actually. Explaining race. 5 chapters. Juicy. Part 3, exhaling rants.
Yeah, I like that.
All right. Expounding theories, explaining race, exhaling rants. Those are some good stuff on exhaling rants now. I believe that's the one in here. The gates of hell have prevailed against the local control of public education. Rants and fulminations against Bill Gates and Antichrist of American public education. Woo! That's explaining what they were. Christ, it's not a name, that's a description, like Messiah.
That's right.
I think he sees himself as the Messiah, the Christo
Chosen one.
in Greek, right? It means to anoint, to smear. He smeared his bad influence on public education. But I think he sees himself some kind of Messiah. He's good with Microsoft. You know, I love that Word document, the Word thing. He's good with that, but he needs to stick to that. I saw a meme, whatever you call those things on Facebook, had a picture of Einstein laughing big time. He said, Bill Gates is going to say public education said man's ever attended public education a day in his life. I guess that's true. I don't think Bill Gates ever gone to public school.
He keeps his pockets growing.
Keeps his pockets growing. I believe he is hooked up with Pearson Education. Pearson Education. That's the educational division of Pearson Publishing. It's the biggest educational publisher in the entire world. Goes back to the early 1700s in London, England. If you look up one of your college textbooks, it costs you $300 at Longman Press, Addison West, although all these companies are owned by Pearson. It has that Pearson logo. On their website, they already said that they are hooked up with Microsoft Word, and that Microsoft Word is going to develop these digital learning apps for them, so that they'll sell to the states and to the schools. That's why they want that Common Core in there, right?
Exactly.
Got to have that Common Core. They don't want to have a different curriculum over in Alabama than they have in Wisconsin. But the states are now beginning to rebel. And I think Indiana, or it was Indiana the other day, a couple more states, South Carolina, and who was the other one? I think Oklahoma. Their legislature rejected it. It's all Common Core crap what it is.
Exactly.
I'm telling you folks.
Exactly.
It's a watering down the curriculum. It's a nationalizing, homogenizing the curriculum. That's what it's all about, so that they can act like these kids are learning. But I read some other day as a professor, I think at Princeton, a math professor. He was just laughing at the Common Core. But it's just drawing. He was talking about his own kids' experience. It's just drawing a bunch of circles and stuff instead of just learning like we had to learn. You had to learn that math. You had to learn the multiplication table, didn't you? 8 times 8. What is that? 64.
Correct.
Yeah. Okay. I'll make sure I hesitate a little bit right there. I mean, you got to automatically know it.
Right.
They don't want these kids to have to commit anything to memory. It's group learning now.
Yeah,
All that
group
group
learning,
learning. You know, with no real responsibility, right?
Blind
Anyway,
leading the blind.
leading the blind. Because I mean, how the kids going to be teaching something they don't know crap about anything? They want them all to get together in a group. Part 4 is going to be exposing the myths, folks. 25 myths of public education that we expose in the book, and there's several sections in here. Eviscerating accreditation. Now, accreditation is the biggest farce out there. Mr. Haynes said it years ago. He's the first person to publicly criticize Mark Elgart and the Southern Association of Colleges and Schools, better known as SACS. He said the whole thing's a sham and a farce. That farce, that report they did, that was a pitiful report. It was awful. It was an awful report. Anyway, we got a whole section on eviscerating accreditation. Then you got 26 appendices that are just juicy, like diamonds in the rough. You got to cogitate and ruminate upon these good appendices in the book.
Right.
It's a great book, folks. You can call the MACE office, 770-716-2727. You can write to the email. It's teacher, not the teacher's advocate here, but it's teachersadvocate@bellsouth.net, right?
That's right.
Our email address. Or you can go to the website, then you got to put THE in front, theteachersadvocate.com. Or you can hit their landing page, maceteachers.org. Spread the word, folks. There's one group out there still fights for the teachers. MACE lets no one to join unless they're, I mean, if you're a supervisor, hey, you know what, we have to kick them out, don't we?
Yeah.
Because all the administrators are members of like PAGE
Exactly.
and GAE and all these other
Right.
groups, right? You got to know who you represent.
That's right.
You have to know who you represent when you get in there.
Right.
There ain't but one union they're afraid of out there, folks. Don't kid yourself. They're not afraid of GAE. They're not afraid of PAGE, not afraid of AFT. They're afraid of MACE. Now, what does MACE stand for? Mad Ass County Employee.
There you go.
Now, that's what some teacher said. My husband said MACE stood for Mad Ass County Employee. I said, Mad Advocates Creating Empowerment.
There you go.
That's what it really stands for, but it's really the Metro Association of Classroom Educators. And I ain't going to say what these other ones. There's some acronyms for these other ones.
Yeah.
I won't mention that. Anyway, give us a holler. Glad you tuned in, and we'll be talking to you later. Ben, why don't you turn that camera off, and we'll wrap it up and get back to work. Excuse me if I'm not wearing my regular glasses. I left them out in the